As a country, we must never stop to entertain shuttle diplomacy, and government must do that work in terms of engaging anyone who tampers on our sovereignty or anyone who's got misgivings about our country, and in particular the United States of America, which is a complete distortion. The question that there is a genocide and the killing of a particular race group in our country, that must be dispelled. The ANC support the President of South Africa meeting with the President of the United States of America, and to engage because since the inauguration we have received reports that they've been talking over the phone, but it will be the first time since the new president has been elected of the United States that he'll be talking to our president amidst all these negative, distorted developments we have read about, which the President of the United States, which is worrisome, seem to believe in those distortions. Nonetheless, it is a coterie of few people who are perpetrating these lies about our country, and we will continue to work with all South Africans, black and white, to defend South Africa's sovereignty, and also to showcase our patriotism in defending our country. And we have seen that from all walks of life, black and white, business, and everyone, to say that these things that have been spread in the US and truths about South Africa. So we welcome the possibility of our president meeting with President Trump, because we respect the outcome of the United States of America elections as Democrats down south, but nonetheless we respect the outcome and the will of the people of the United States to elect President Trump as their president. But in this particular instance, it is important that our president must lead the charge in defending his own country and his own people against distortions which are clearly blatant, in a way. So those steps are necessary for our country. And we know that South Africa, led by President Ramaphosa, will do everything in their power to defend South Africa's sovereignty and its in her own integrity among nations of the world. So we are very much welcoming to that effort on the part of South African government. But we defer that to the president in terms of dealing with the question of the deployment of ambassadors. We think that we are now, 64 million people? And we will get anyone out of these 64 million to represent us in the United States. I think the president at the right moment will determine as to who will fill up the shoes of Ibrahim Rasool. Rasool was capable as a person, but there was a diplomatic error that he committed, and the Americans then declared him persona non grata in terms of the Geneva Convention. Even though we felt that it was too harsh, but nonetheless, they are a sovereign state, anyone can do that, we can do that. We can demarch people, we can declare them persona non grata. As a diplomat in the household of another country, there are certain things that people can hold you accountable about because you are an invitee. You are serving in that country at their behest. You declare your credentials. So there was nothing wrong with Rasool's credentials in that regard. But nonetheless, our government responded swiftly and recognized that we cannot lock ourselves into a battle that we cannot win. And in this particular regard, we are confident that the president will appoint a suitable South African who can represent our country in the United States. We are happy with anyone, so we are not going to prescribe. We believe that out of 64 citizens of our country, there's one person will represent our country diligently in terms of doing work on this particular post in the United States of America. What was your question?
Africana Leadership Network.
No, I mean, the discussion with the Africana leadership is ongoing. It is not pinned on a resolution. We're discussing issues of the history of the country, promoting dialogue. We are going to the national dialogue. We must discuss difficult issues. There will be no holy cows in terms of issues we can discuss. We reflected on the question of patriotism, national debate, and national consensus, which cut across race. And as a people who regard ourselves as South Africans, it is important that we must look at the situation of our country in terms of how can people contribute in terms of their skills to building an economy that works, and that's what is important to us. But also internationalism. I mean, South Africa's foreign policy is important that it must also be respected. And most of these things can be won on the table by just promoting a conversation. Of course, they've got reservations about some of the laws, and we engage with them on such. Can it be Expropriation Act, which went to be distorted even in the White House? And then can it be on the issues of land? We need to have a conversation with them on that, not talk past each other. The most important thing about that meeting was the willingness to get around the table and talk. I mean, there you had the PAC, you had Afrikaner networks from AfriForum and Solidarity and all other, important formations in our country, and sometimes robust, but at the end of the day, most welcome engagement. So, as the ANC, we are going to be continuing with this, leading and going beyond the national dialogue, which will be convened and so on. But as a party, we are committed fully to talking to everyone in South Africa, and even showcase to them that how some of their activities harm the sovereignty, and at the same time bring into question their own commitment to national consensus and patriotism to South Africa.
No blood on the walls.
No, there's no blood. Yeah.